Hey everybody, I'm Alex McClellan.
And I'm Mason McClellan.
And we're the Backtrack Brothers. We go back and watch classic movies and see how they hold up now.
Today we're going to be covering Home Alone, which came out in 1990.
Yeah, it was written by John Hughes, who's a great classic writer. We'll dive into that a little bit later. It was directed by Christopher Columbus.
Really?
Yeah, not the Voyager, not the, not Plymouth Rock guy, but yeah, I think he actually goes by Chris Columbus, but I'm just going to call him Christopher Columbus for the fun of it.
It's funnier.
Yeah, he actually directed a couple of the Harry Potter movies.
Yeah, that's why I know him from.
Yup. Yeah, no, we should kind of give him a heads up. Like, we have little preliminary discussions ahead of this video. We came into this knowing we have different views of this movie, so be ready. This is going to be a real debate. So let's start things out by talking about the visual aspects of this movie. I know it's just, a fun little Christmas movie, but let's just kind of talk about some of the positives and negatives. What stuck out to you?
It's not like they went out with like CGI or anything. Like, it's just like a classic, like, film it and forget it type of thing. Like, no like post-editing effects. But
they do have that like really sped up stuff, which I think looks really terrible. Like in a few moments, like right before the airport shuttle, they were trying to get on the airport shuttle really fast.
Yeah.
They make everyone move really fast in the hallway. Or like when Kevin realizes he's home alone, he starts running around screaming. It doesn't look great. I don't think that aged well. So I think if anything, they probably should have done no at all.
Even with like the one Robert's like little teeth shine thing.
Oh yeah.
It was like a PowerPoint effect, and it was a spinny star.
Yeah, it wasn't good. There's a stark difference between that shot where you see the twinkle and how his gold tooth looks just standard. There's a huge difference.
And outside of like some like minor like film grain, which for 1990 is gonna happen, like I don't know, it wasn't the worst thing.
No, I think it's something, you watch it, you can tell it's definitely 30 years old, but it's not visually distracting in my eyes. I think it's a beautiful home. I think they do a good job with the setting, it's suburbs of Chicago. It just feels like a nice little wintry suburb. Now, we're gonna dive into the audio section and talk about what is a fantastic score in my opinion.
I mean, I think it fit like the Christmassy kind of vibe really well. Match the emotions when they're like really deep, or when they're just a kid running around a house, whatever it may be, it works.
Or when they're scared of the radiator and the ominous music that comes in there. Yeah, and I would be remiss to not mention, this is John Williams who did this score. That's, the guy Star Wars, Indiana Jones. You might know some of his work. Once again, Harry Potter.
Very niche movies.
Yeah, you might have heard of him. So yeah, John Williams, enough said. Like, you give that guy the reins to your soundtrack and score, and it's going to be a success. I know it was nominated. I forget if it won the award for soundtrack that year, but it was nominated. I think this is a great movie to have on in the background during the Christmas season. Even if you're just half listening to it, it's still fun and just, I think, sets your house on the right tone, you know?
Definitely.
And now, we're going to start talking about the acting performances. And we're really just going to focus on, the three real individuals here. Let's start with Kevin, played by Macaulay Culkin.
Yes.
I'm really interested to hear Mason's thoughts on the kid's performance.
So I know everyone says that, oh, he's so cute, he's so adorable, I love his lines, whatever. I think he's really annoying.
Ooh.
I think he sounds like he's reading from like a children's audiobook with his lines. I know sometimes with the more like comedic lines it works, but then when it's more genuine and everything, it doesn't sound really real, especially when the beginning when he's talking to his family. It sounds like he's just reading straight off of a script like this.
I would say I do think his performance is better when he's alone and kind of like has the monologue, kind of like talking to the camera occasionally. And I like where he's trying to be like an adult when he goes to the store. He's like, oh, is this toothbrush approved by the federal district of whatever the hell it is?
Like for the kids with the cash register.
For the kids. Do you know if those microwave dinners are any good? I'll give them a try anyway. Like, that's such great stuff. I'm reading the little magazine.
35-year-old white man.
Exactly. Oh, it was beautiful. So, to your point though, I think there are some moments where he's a little stiff. I do wonder how much he was like instructed to be that way.
Yeah.
But I think, that to your point, there are definitely some stiff moments. I would say in general though, I think he did a pretty solid performance. I think he has the screaming face. It always makes me laugh. I think it's a little overdone.
It is a little overdone.
It's a little overdone, but I will say, I hope that's on the thumbnail, by the way. That's gotta But I think it's effective, especially when he's about to get hit by the car when he's about to get hit by Harry and Marv's car.
He just stands there for like 3 seconds.
And then walks away without saying anything. That's awesome. I love it. Yeah, that's exactly the type of amazing acting I'm talking about.
I'm glad you see that as a pro for the movie.
Oh man, if you don't see that as a pro, it's gonna be a long discussion. One more aspect of Macaulay Culkin's performance I really love. I think his scaredness as a young kid, like the fear of the radiator and just the fear of the old man with the shovel.
Yeah.
Just when you're a kid, and you're closer to it than I am. You should probably remember it a little bit better. Like you just have fear of things that are the unknown. Like you may not actually have a legit hard reason to be afraid of it, but you just get a weird heebie-jeebie feeling.
Yeah, kind of like in my basement, there were like there's light switches in the actual basement, so when you turn the lights off and run upstairs and go upstairs, the lights are already off behind you.
Yes.
So whenever I was like 7 or 8 years old, I turned them off and sprint as fast as I can upstairs, just so I knew that the darkness behind me wasn't left.
So whether it's the zombies or the ghosts or whatever live in our basement would not capture me. And it's a smart move because you never know what. Because the one time you don't do it,
exactly.
That's the time you get got. So now let's talk about the other two guys who probably get the most screen time. Talk about Joe Pesci, Daniel Stern playing Harry and Marv, aka the Robbers.
Yeah, I thought they did pretty good, and I don't know if they were like instructed to be. I mean, they probably were being instructed to be as goofy as they were.
Super goofy.
But they pulled it off really well.
Yeah.
I thought their banter and stuff seemed really natural. The final scene at the end, they were a little bit like.
The Wet Bandits.
Yeah, it was like, and basically whenever they got hit by something, they would do actual Looney Tunes sounds when they got hit.
They did. I think the worst offender of that is when you get the blowtorch on the skull.
And just screaming.
And he's screaming, he stands there holding it.
5 seconds.
Yeah, it's way too long.
Yeah.
It's funny, but it is a little overdone.
And again, I don't know if that's the actor's thing or if it's the writers telling them to do that.
Yeah, it's a great point. Yeah, whether it's direction or it could be something in the script, like stand there for 5 seconds with your mouth open. So you haven't seen Joe Pesci in a lot of the more adult films like the Goodfellas and all those in the world yet. I'm really excited to expose you to those once you're ready. So you probably don't have too much of a background with him. He is so overqualified for this role.
Yeah.
Super overqualified. That being said, a great pull to get him because he's scary, dude. He's a scary dude. I can imagine why a kid would be terrified of him. He's got the screaming. You can see he's a schemy dude right from the first freaking scene when he comes in as a cop. I just love how he portrays that character. He's super believable. I really like Marv too. I think he's the perfect silly sidekick, great with the physical comedy, with the tar on his feet, all that stuff. So I think it's really well done. I think they could have fleshed him out a little bit more. I would have liked that.
So. A little backstory on why they're robbing houses. And
one discussion outside of the van. Maybe in a diner. Give us a diner scene, Show us them interacting.
Imagine them eating dinner in somebody else's house with their own food.
With one of their moms, which is a Goodfellas reference. But yeah, that would be great. And now we are officially going to start discussing the plot and writing and just overall story of Home Alone.
Yes.
We are going to start going into spoilers, so you are officially entering the spoiler zone. Zone. So, if you haven't seen this movie, shame on you. Shame on you. What the hell?
I've not seen this movie yet.
Seriously,
nobody's put it on in anywhere in your house, in your cousins when you're over for a Christmas party, anything. Nobody's ever shown you Home Alone.
That's insane.
What do you do?
So yeah, if you haven't seen this movie, please go watch Home Alone and then come back, watch the rest of this video, and see our thoughts, and then let us know what your thoughts are.
Exactly.
Yeah. How we structure this section, we're really going to go chronologically through because that's how our notes are in order. We're just going to kind of break the movie into chunks and then talk about our notes for each individual section. Sound good, Mason?
Sounds great.
Sweet. All right, Mason, the first chunk that we're going to talk about is the opening of the movie where you just have the madness of the two families together before the trip to France, through to the point where Kevin wakes up and realizes that his family is gone and he is home alone. What are your kind of major takeaways from the opening of this movie?
So I really like the whole like dinner thing where they're all eating dinner and you get to see kind of how everyone interacts with each other.
Oh, yeah.
All like the assortment of characters in the house.
Yeah.
Each little kid has their own little like tweak. Like there's like the big bully character. There's the weird like trying to be cool. There's the French lady. Like just
the dickhead uncle.
Yeah, the two kids who like stare at each other.
Everyone's got the dickhead uncle. Let's be real. We know who our dickhead uncle is.
That would remain a secret.
Yes, isn't it so crazy? Literally everyone treats him like absolute garbage.
Yeah.
So I understand he is a whiny kid. I can imagine being annoyed by him, but even his parents treat him as
nobody backs him up. Nobody. Like I know for a fact Kevin is not the most annoying person in this house. Out of what we've seen, not a chance. I think he's the most sane person in this house.
The kid who annoys me the most, and it probably doesn't even make sense. It's honestly mostly a visual thing. The guy who says, "You're a disease." I just think he looks like a weasel, and I bet I hate that guy.
Do you know who I hate the most? The kids who just stare. Who just stare.
Yeah, you know what? He makes me laugh now.
All the time, I'll be just like walking in public, right? And these kids who are like same age as them, they'll just be staring. Like they stare at you as you walk by.
Yeah, there's not much you can do about it.
No.
Yeah. You guys just gotta let them stare. Unless you punch a baby, you can do it.
You could.
It doesn't have to be a baby. I don't know why I reverted straight to a baby.
Have you punched a baby before?
No, but like I've seen the campaign. You ever heard of that movie? Great. All right, we're totally off track.
One little note, how did the cop get in the house? Did somebody like invite him in or did they just kind of like invite himself in?
Right.
And also,
the
why is
cop.
why is nobody concerned that there's a cop in the house?
Nobody could care less.
If there was a cop standing inside my house and I had not invited him in, even if I invited him in, I would be scared as shit.
Yeah, exactly. And I do like that every one of the main floors running into him. It just happens. I mean, there are 5 or 6 people that live there in that house.
Yeah.
And he just happens to not be talking to any of those 6 people. He could have, but no, it's in all the other 7. There are like 15 people in that house.
Yeah.
Which is, so I just want to bring this up really quick. Every time I watch the opening of this movie, I think about how I never want to have a big family. Like, I can't, dude, like one of these families has 4 or 5 kids and the other one has 5 or 6 kids.
Yeah.
That's just 2 families together on this trip, and it's freaking madness.
Yeah.
Like, you should be able to go on a 2-family vacation without it turning into a complete clusterfuck. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine doing it. Even when we have like both my mom's sister's families over, it's not that chaotic.
No, not at all. Not at all. And I would also say this too, like that dinner scene that you pointed out, it felt so real. The mad rush for the food, for seats, like, you know, if you're the last person to get pizza, if they don't have what you want, too fucking bad.
Everyone's talking over each other, like you can't even hear person sit next to you.
Especially our family, we're all just yelling over each other.
The mom, like when she locks Kevin up in the attic.
Great parenting, by the way.
Yeah, great parenting. Just lock your kid up for the night. No food, no water, no nothing. Just lock him up there.
I feel like I've been making a lot of Harry Potter references, but that's literally one step above being under the stairs. You know? It's not that far off.
But yeah, she very like heavily foreshadows. I feel like it's really forced about the whole not being there tomorrow. Yeah. Like, you say that again, it might come true. You might not be here tomorrow. Yeah. Say it again. Like it's very like she very much implies it, and I feel like she kind of had to for the whole story to work out, but still, it felt forced.
Definitely. And that whole conversation, to your point, I can see what you're saying where it seems like they're reading off the script, because it's so like by the book what a kid says to their parent. Yeah. But it almost felt, what does he say? Like, I hate you, I wish you were never
I wish you would disappear.
I wish you would disappear. Like, oh my God, dude. Like, I was around you guys when you grew up. You never said shit like that. That's silly. It's insane to think. So this next chunk we're going to talk about is where Kevin wakes up, realizes he's home alone, to the point where he attempts to purchase a toothbrush.
That's approved by the Dental Association.
Isn't that kind of crazy? That's a plot point. Kevin kicks things off by freaking doing all the crazy shit, running around the house, having ice cream for breakfast, watching the movie that fucking scares him. Which that movie, I don't know, do you think you would be scared by that movie when you were a kid?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just someone getting shot even when they're already dead. He's like still dumping them.
And laughing, the maniacal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's great. Get your no good yellow keister off my property. 1, 2, 10. That's epic. Oh my god. And then the go-to line: keep the change, you filthy animal.
Yeah.
That is. Yeah, I have a beer koozie that's got that written on it. So trust me, I love that line. Mason, what stuck out to you in this chunk of the movie?
Buzz, your girlfriend.
Woof woof.
We just found out from our cousin that they dressed up the director's son.
It was the director's son.
As a girl.
Yeah, in that photo. So that's not a girl that is just getting dragged through the mud for the rest of her life. That's a guy with a wig on. So it's okay to think that she is ugly.
I can't wait to be in a movie. And then she just sees like what her role is.
Ugly dog woman. Oh yeah, and that's at the same time he climbs up. I think that's when he takes his life savings, which is $12, and unleashes the tarantula in the house and destroys the shelving and takes zero effort to clean it up. Zero. Even if you don't think he's coming back, like organize your shit a little bit. I don't know. I mean, that's just me. I like things clean.
Yeah, makes sense.
Also around this time, we actually get formally introduced to the robbers, the wet bandits, which I don't know if they want to or not want to be called that.
I get their whole water spigot thing where they turn the water on and leave. But
that is maniacal.
That is. Imagine coming back, your house is flooded and everything's
the foundation issues and the water damage, in the mold.
That is awful.
As a homeowner, I shudder. When I was a young child watching this movie, I'm like, oh, that would be inconvenient. Nah, man, that's like thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
You might not be able to live in your house for a period of time. That fucking blows.
Yeah, and but wet bandits is not the best name.
It's not great. Could have had a better. I like the gimmick. Bad title. Definitely could work on the title. And also, I do like that this movie shows the error of having a calling card like that. Mm-hmm. Now you can trace it back to everywhere that happened. You basically just admitted to it. So definitely not the smartest idea. It's a great example of why notoriety is not what it's all about. Yes. If you can just steal money and have no one know about it, that's the best thing. I didn't say that. I didn't just say that.
So if you're gonna rob somebody, don't make it obvious.
Yeah, don't fucking spray paint your name on the side of their wall. Kevin did this. You got robbed by Mason. And after, we see them robbing and, leaving all the water out for the one neighbor, that's when the creepy van following scene happens. Mm-hmm. I don't think that's aged super well.
No.
Or maybe I just didn't appreciate how creepy it was when I was younger, but holy shit.
I know they're robbers, but that's more than a theft charge.
I love Pesci's reaction of, why is he running? He must be doing something wrong. A young child running as a windowless van following him. He should be running. My lord. Yeah, and soon after that, because now he's on to the robbers, spying on his house, he does the little silhouette setup. Mm-hmm. That gotta say, that's pretty cool.
I feel like this is a concurrent theme throughout the movie. Yeah. I feel like he's almost too good at setting up these traps. Too quick, too efficient, really unrealistic.
Yeah, it's tough. It is true. I don't know where the mannequins would come from. That was one thing watching. I was like, he got 3 or 4 mannequins. The Michael Jordan cutout, I believe that. Yeah. A lot of people had Michael Jordan cutouts in the 90s. But the mannequins? Who just has mannequins hanging out in their house?
In the beginning, if you look in the basement, or even just around the house, there's so many random things that eventually work as a traps. I feel like he's trying to foreshadow the different traps and setups that he uses. But at the same time, why would a normal family have all this stuff? That
yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah. Mason just brought it up to me. Thank you, Mason. I miss the toothbrush scene in Toothbrush Pursuit. It's a great scene. It really is. But yeah, what are your thoughts on the toothbrush scene?
So I thought it was funny. I liked his little dentist association thing.
Yeah.
The lady being confused and just trying to nod that's not.
I love the manager. It's I don't know.
He eventually, runs off. A total of 3 people chase him. It starts with the owner, and the owner says, "Hey, son, get him." Then the son is like, "Police, get him," and they all fail. So
yeah, it is a little bit of a baton race with the people trying to get him, and You know, well, and also I do want to say that's the longest slide I have ever seen someone do on their knees on a skating rink.
It must have been like the most slippery ice I've ever seen. Cause like even as someone who like has a brother who plays hockey,
Right.
I've like walked on ice with shoes before.
Right.
It's not as slippery as this cop was making it.
No.
It's not like you can't even stand on it. It's like you can easily just like walk.
You can walk on it, yeah, 100%. So yeah, and then, but I will say, man, the old dude, even though we find out he's a sweet old man,
That stare.
dude, how was he expecting the kid to react? He's never talked to this kid before. He walks up,
15 seconds. The kid even backs up like slowly, like clearly scared.
Oh, totally.
Staring at him, not saying a word.
Right.
I would be scared of that too.
At what point does he just say hi? Just break the ice, man. Like, come on.
He's shy.
Get it? Break the ice? Because that's not really. That's not true. That's not funny. All right, we only got a couple chunks left. So let's talk about this next chunk. It's gonna be from the pizza delivery scene, which, huge fan, personally. Down to the point where he is sitting down to eat his gorgeous bowl of macaroni and cheese. Every young kid's dream.
I don't like mac and cheese. It's not my dream.
Mason's food decisions in life are sad. I'm just gonna say that. Leave it there. I'm just gonna leave it there. So the pizza delivery scene, I think it does go to your point of he is a little bit too quick and smart for his age to coordinate. Like he fast forwards that perfectly. You know how hard that is?
Yeah.
That is
Even like
hard.
modern TVs, like to the very exact second of a sentence being said.
Right, exactly.
Perfect sync to what he's saying, like, yeah.
He's also taking a pretty good chance that this guy has not seen the movie. All I wanted to do was just like, oh, dude, I love this movie.
Also with like the robbers at the end, he did the same thing, but he included like the firecrackers and stuff.
Oh yeah. Which
With
is
this,
awesome.
he just turned up the volume really loud, and apparently those gunshots on an old 1990s TV sounded realistic enough for this guy to be scared all the way to his car.
I think that's a good point. I think that's a great point, Mason. Because yeah, it's not like he had Bose stereo next to it. You know what I mean? Like it was just a small. First off, Mason, have you ever seen a smaller TV than the one you saw in this kitchen?
No.
Dude, those used to be everywhere. Like that was like people had those because you know people want to like watch something while they cook and stuff like that. Just get these, and you know, wouldn't use your phone. You use this little fucking 8-inch box TV. Yeah, and watch black and white shit on it. That is terrible. After the pizza delivery scene, I guess you can't order pizza every night. You'll go broke, right?
Yeah.
So he actually ends up going grocery shopping to get things that he needs, which is pretty impressive. I mean, especially, the whole theme of this movie, early on, he doesn't even know how to pack a freaking suitcase.
Yeah.
And now he's going by himself to the grocery store. And the interaction between him and the cashier.
Yeah, it's good. The cashier's clearly having fun with him.
Oh, totally. And totally reasonably asking the questions she's asking.
Yeah, but she doesn't not take his order or anything. She gets the groceries, she lets him check it out, everything.
$20 for an order of groceries. Dude, I would like to go back to those days. Leave the 8-inch
I'm a kid, I know that's hella cheap.
leave the 8-inch TVs, give me back the grocery.
One of those dish bottles alone, or those washer bottles alone.
Easily. Oh yeah, I did think, I was like, he's getting enough Tide for a family of 6. So he's the one kid who's probably gonna wash 4 shirts. Well, I will say this, how does clothes, did he run out of clothes that fast? His family's been gone for 2 days, he's doing laundry.
They really don't like him. They really just didn't get him anything.
So Mason, I know you're not connected to this individual, but I am just from watching a lot of good classic comedies.
Yeah.
I always forget John Candy's in this movie, and he's the Polka King guy.
Yeah.
Who helps the mom, gives the mom a ride to Chicago from Scranton. I thought it was so cool they were in Scranton. What are the odds? Anyway, for those who don't know, we're from the suburbs of Philadelphia, so Scranton is not that far from us. So, and also I'm a big fan of The Office. So there's multiple levels going on here. If you want to know about our background and history and
So we love Scranton.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say I love Scranton. So I love The Office.
That's great.
Scranton seems mediocre. But yeah, oh my god. So John Candy is just gold. Listing off those polka songs. He can read a grocery list and make it funny. So him, and then just being in the truck and talking about how terrible of a parent he is. And the other guys don't know their kids' names. Just oh my god, just grade A comedy.
Yeah.
I love it. That's everything. They put that in there for the parents, and I'm sure as an adult, I appreciate that stuff more and more. As a kid, you probably didn't. You're like, I don't get these polka jokes. But
Well, that was polka.
right, exactly. Is polka even around? Anybody?
No, I didn't know about this movie.
Yo, really?
Yeah.
Oh man, I gotta play you some polka. So after all this polka business, it ends up getting back to Kevin, and he starts he goes to the church, and he ends up talking with, the guy he thinks is a murderer. Turns out he doesn't seem like the most innocent guy still.
Yeah.
He seems like a sweet guy, he talks to him, he definitely doesn't appear to be a murderer, but as we see later in the movie, he does know how to use that shovel. So questions to me are still arised, which is not a word. Arisen.
We're gonna pretend it's a word.
Arisided.
It's a word.
Questions are arisided on this man.
Really, I did like the whole, it added depth to what was a pretty surface level Christmas movie.
Oh, definitely.
I thought it was really sweet, yeah.
It was. I like how they include him in the conclusion. Early in the movie, I'm like, why do they even have him in the plot?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then, it comes full circle with him obviously saving the day. And I think it's really cool they do that with the character. It goes back to actually one of the themes we talked about with Barbarian, which we just put a video out on. Feel free to check that out. Where you can't judge a book by its cover, right?
Yeah.
People have sent all these rumors about this guy, and whether you're an old man putting salt on the sidewalk or you're a deformed incest mom who wants to love somebody, you can't judge somebody. I couldn't get through that.
Don't watch Barbarian if you need to understand where that incest mother is coming from.
Or if you want to retain your sanity, don't. Now, Mason, after the church scene, the nice little heartfelt moment, we just get this amazing scene between Kevin and this fake Santa.
This is my favorite scene in the movie.
It's so real. It is so freaking real.
Santa clearly working just to pay off his college debt, goes to a shitty car, smokes a cigarette.
And Kevin walks up and he tosses the cig, and his clothes all that's gonna do anything. And then and also the actor, the guy, he probably made freaking $50 to do this role, and he freaking kills it.
Yeah.
I think he does a great
Even the
job.
car driving away where it fails to start.
Damn it. But even that, you have a sweet moment where you can see how he functions in why he wants to be a Santa. He's not a curmudgeon.
Yeah.
He listens to the kid. He pretends like he's gonna report things to Santa. Gives him a couple Tic-Tacs. Sends him on his way.
Go with Tic-Tacs.
Tic-Tacs even a thing now? Do people still use Tic-Tacs?
I can't remember the last time anyone was using Tic-Tacs.
Yeah.
But I know they were a thing.
Yeah, they were. Tic-Tacs were popular when I was younger, but I still see them at the grocery store. But you see a lot of stuff at the grocery store that you don't know how people purchase it.
Yeah.
Anyway, once again, way off topic. We'll save that for the Tic-Tac episode that we're gonna put out next week. In-depth review of Tic-Tacs. Are they still here?
It's 5 minutes, or not 5 minutes, it's 5 hours long. It's just about Tic-Tacs.
Oh my, let's just bail on this movie video page and just start doing Tic-Tac.
Tic-Tac.
God damn it. It's hard. Tic-Tac.
We're banning the video. This is now a Tic-Tac review. First out the orange Tic-Tacs.
You know what though? Orange is good. The orange ones are really good. Yeah, the white ones are too much. The ones that are I don't like spearmint in general.
Yeah.
Even gum. Spearmint is I like wintergreen or something where it's less.
I lost a tooth to a white Tic-Tac.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what's funny about that? You could replace that tooth with a white Tic-Tac,
Sure.
and it would yeah.
We're bumping up another rating, man. We're at 5 out of 10, now white Tic-Tac 6 out of 10.
If our numbers go up by talking about Tic-Tacs, I'm done. I quit YouTube.
If this video does well, it's all because you guys came here for Tic-Tac.
If we look at the numbers and there's a spike in viewership in this portion of the video, I'm gonna be very upset. So now, Mason, let's get to the climax of the movie.
Yeah.
Everyone's excited. Everyone wants to hit the climax. We're here. Let's just talk about this really quick. Terrible time management with the macaroni and cheese. He knew they were arriving at 9 o'clock. He's sitting down with the bowl of mac and cheese at 9 p.m.
Mac and cheese is clearly more important.
He made it in the microwave. You know exactly how long it takes. Like, start prep at 8:30, man, so you can eat your meal before you have to cause utter destruction. Is that fair?
Yeah, you said majority times, but then other times he's like, like he set up all these traps and everything. He doesn't know what time to make his mac and cheese.
That's a great point, Mason. Like, there is a little bit of inconsistency there.
Yeah.
And it's necessary to make the movie function, I get it, but still, I'm still gonna point it out. So Mason, what I wanna do here, I have my handy dandy notebook, just like from Blue's Clues, and
We're both like blue. There you go.
Hey, you didn't think about that. So, that was pretty good. That was pretty good.
It was pretty good.
Thank you. I could be the next host. So I want to use my handy dandy notebook, and I want to go through each of the traps that were set up for the burglars. I want you to give a thumbs up, thumbs down, and I will react, and we can have a quick little discussion on each one. Sound good?
Yeah.
Cool. I hope you find this entertaining. So we're starting off. Both robbers go to the back door, and just straight away, BB gun to the nuts. And then BB gun to the forehead. Both thumbs up?
Both effective. Yep.
Effective.
Dude,
quite effective.
I felt the pain for both of them.
Dude,
that must have.
It is barrel, crotch.
Yeah.
There is not much separation there.
A barrel like straight to the forehead, like it's only skull.
Yeah, there's no blockage. Yeah, exactly. Like with the testicular region, he at least has some material with the pants. And you also, it was cold outside, you're probably banging on some shrinkage. You know what I mean? But yeah, with a shot to the forehead, none of that. You don't get any enjoyment, no protection. They really should be wearing masks though. You know?
Yeah, they're not very good bandits.
No.
Like we've established.
No. Yeah, if anything, they could call them the dry bandits. Anyway, next one, we have the wet steps with the gasoline. Not a fan of that.
So the thing about the wet steps is like right next to it, they have pillars that lead up to the house. I don't think they're too concerned about messing up their lawn. So just take those pillars, just step over those pillars on the side of the steps to get up to the house.
That was exactly what I thought.
After like the 5th attempt of the stairs, just thought, before the first attempt of the stairs, you just thought of that. Like
now the basement steps, different. Thumbs up, right? Because there's no escaping that.
Yeah. And you're falling down too, like.
You're falling down and you're falling into basically a pit that you can't even stand up in.
Yeah.
Because all that gasoline collected at the bottom and terrible. So yeah, I agree with you. I think front steps, not great strategic move. Definitely only work because it's a movie. Back steps, thumbs up, good move.
Yes.
Cool. Next one we have fake light cord that leads to the iron coming down the tube. Hella impressive.
That's good.
Now,
the only gripe I have is that he's standing in the exact spot to where the ammo was landing. If he's standing back like a foot back, it wouldn't have been him.
Or if he just as soon as you pull the string and it doesn't work, I feel like I would look up and I would at least, which he does, but it's a little late. It's a little too late. I feel like I would have reacted a little bit faster, but who knows? It is dark. It's not your basement. That's my logic. So, next one. Ooh, hot doorknob.
I think that one's really good.
Really impressive because he does it from the inside. So there's no way from the outside for you to know that it's hot. Unless you just do a quick little test. Like he does that with the second doorknob. That's fucking, dude, that is a nice bright M on his hand, dude. Like that's not going away anytime soon. He's gonna remember that for a while.
Yeah.
That's rough. So yeah, thumbs up for both of us on the hot doorknob.
Yes.
Tar steps. That leads to the nail in the front.
Good. Yeah. But also, you gotta look where you're stepping. You're telling me at no point in time did he look at the stairs? Because he could have easily looked from any point. He could have looked and saw the nail poking out. Like it's not a small nail. It's a big nail.
I think part of what's difficult with this is that because if you think there's no lights on down there, it's brighter because it's a movie and we need to see it. But I think
dark.
I think the idea is supposed to be it's basically pitch black down there and he can't see. So that's why he can't see all of the sludge on the steps and the nails. But to your point, if it is as well lit as it is to us, that sounded terrible. If it is as well lit to him as it is to us, wow, that's a lot of tease. That was. Next one, flamethrower to the noggin.
I'll say it's in the middle.
Middle.
I can see it working especially when he stands there for 5 seconds.
Right.
But like if you, again, like he did, barge through the door,
Yes.
or open it fast enough to where it doesn't catch you,
Yeah.
like I can see it not working.
Exactly. He was basically banking on him creeping that door open, which is honestly well, first off, he left that door unlocked, which is crazy.
I don't get why he didn't lock all the doors.
That was
Like he really relied on the traps.
Yes, he was super confident in those traps. He had no backup plan, by the way. I don't know if you realized that. Like when he got caught, he was caught and he was fucked. Like he had no backup plan.
Yeah.
Honestly, it wasn't even a great plan in terms of escaping. But anyway, we'll deal with that later. So flame to the head, we'll go middle. The cool effect, obviously, I mean, who doesn't like flames being shot at someone's head? Everyone likes that. Unless you're the one with flames coming at your head. That is probably the one person involved, not a fan of it. Which is understandable. Alright, turning the page on my Andy Dating notebook.
Please notebook.
So, sticky liquid with the plastic. So Joe Pesci walks through the door, plastic to the face. I don't know if it's like syrup or there's something sticky that ends up, on him that leads to the feathers blowing on him with the fan. That make him look like a chicken.
I'm gonna say down.
Yeah, I'm down on that.
It's not effective.
Down.
What does it do? Look silly? Like,
Realistically,
I don't
yes.
get it.
It makes him look silly. Maybe, it stalls him for a split second.
Yeah.
But there's other way better things that slow them down. When you're thinking about like a nail in the foot. You're thinking about
BB gun.
The BB guns. Yeah. We're talking about the next thing we're about to talk about. Ornaments under the window.
Mm-hmm. Also, I don't know why he doesn't just keep the BB gun. If he just had it the whole time, whenever they're chasing him, he just shoot him.
It's true. It's a good point. He probably only had so much ammo. I'll give him that. Who knows? Who knows how many BBs he actually had to use,
Yeah.
But the ornaments under the window.
I'm gonna say down.
I wholeheartily disagree with you.
Because he didn't look down. If he just would have looked down and saw his ornaments, he would have not full stomped on them like he did.
Yeah.
But like if he just looked down before hopping in, he could have lightly stepped down to where he didn't break on him.
It would have been tight. It would have been tight. Well, what I would say, it's pretty obvious it's a trap. The fucking window's wide open. Who leaves the window wide open as they're getting robbed in the winter? The window should be closed just based on weather alone. Never mind the fact people are trying to break and enter your house.
Yeah.
So he should have known that was a setup. To your point, probably should have stuck his head in there, be like, is there anything down here? No, he didn't do that. So I would say medium though for me because. You haven't seen Die Hard yet, I'm guessing. But the whole idea of someone's feet just getting mangled and torn up with like glass and stuff just gives me the heebie-jeebies. So it's just an effective thing for me in terms of it makes me react. So I'll give him a half a thumbie on that one. Half a thumbie. Oh boy. Is thummy like a sexual term I don't know about that I just
I don't think
myself?
so, but we're gonna keep saying thummy. I'm saying thummy now.
How many thummies going forward? All right. So after the ornaments one, you have Pesci and the other dude get back together, and that's when you get the paint buckets.
Thummy. Full thummy.
Full thummy.
That probably hurts.
I really like this thummy term. Sorry. Full thummy.
Full thummy.
Nice.
Metal. Heavy metal. Coming down,
Paint's heavy, man. Like you get a jar of paint.
Yeah, and on the stairs.
Oh, and that's like swinging, dude. That's a pendulum.
Yeah.
That comes down with some force.
Yeah, and especially when you're on the stairs, you're falling back. It's not fun.
I don't know if you know. I forget the name of the horror movie. There's a semi-recent horror movie that came out that spoofs that and actually uses that as a kill in the movie.
I don't know what movie.
Oh, dude, it's cool. I'm sure somebody let me know in the comments. There's someone watching this that knows exactly what movie I'm talking about. Let us know what it is. But I remember, hearing about it that they basically did the Home Alone thing, but they actually killed somebody. Because it makes me wonder. I do think it would hurt more that they let on in this scene. I feel like you would at least hit the ground.
I feel like there would be with all the traps they set up. I'm surprised no one died.
Yeah, no. Exactly. They would be at least. I mean, dude, think about Marv's feet alone.
Yeah.
Between the nail and the tar and the glass, he should be bleeding all over the place. Now that I think about it, there should have been blood trails just going through the whole house.
Just laid over the crowbar down like that.
Yeah, true. I didn't think about that. Yeah, that crow. So that's a perfect transition because the crowbar comes out because now this isn't really, a prank or a setup, but the tarantula being put right on Marv's freaking face.
Yeah.
Thumbs up, because who the hell wouldn't react to that?
Yeah.
And his scream.
Yeah.
His scream is awesome. And then, so after that, You gotta love that he has the little bike handles, like, you know, so you can use it to zip line essentially over to his treehouse. It destroys the treehouse. Unfortunate for the treehouse, the dad's gonna have to fix it. So the trap that comes with the rope, you know, obviously he gets over to the treehouse, and then as they're halfway out, which, how do they think that's a smart thing to do?
Yeah. Just, even the first time I watched this movie, I was like 8. And I was like, just go down out of the house, wrap it around, and corner. He can't leave the treehouse.
Exactly. Right. Exactly.
Just wait for him.
Or at least, he does get down from the treehouse, but it's gonna take him a little time as a kid.
Yeah.
And their whole idea is, like Pesci says, oh, that's what he wants. He wants us to go back through the house, his little house of terrors or whatever. But all of the pranks, most of the pranks he did, like he needed to set up and do. Like, how many more of those can you actually have in the house? Like, you think you don't have a clean route to the front door at this point?
And also all of them are like, you know, usually set up where he needs to do something to activate, like the BB gun or the paint or whatever.
Right.
Like just some like the doorknob and stuff, but you've already done those. Like those like one-time things. What have you not experienced?
That was a thumbs down for me because there's no thummy.
Thummy down.
No, no thummy for that one. And really that's the end because he eventually runs to his neighbor's house, he gets caught, and then Shovel Man shows up and saves the day, which is awesome. And then, you know, apparently he just goes to sleep. Like, think about that. He goes through all this shit. It's all like 11.
I didn't think about that.
And the cops take these guys away. He smiles and goes to bed, tucked, all nice and tidy, all happy, go to sleep. Oh, he puts out milk and cookies and shit. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. Kids would be traumatized.
Yeah.
Totally.
Like,
no way.
Type shit.
So the next morning is when, you know, he wakes up, he's still upset his family's not there, and then his mom comes in, and then the rest of the family shows up. It's this nice, heartwarming moment, and then you get the little moment with Shovel Man, with his family. I know he has a name, he's Shovel Man to me. And how do you think that this movie was wrapped up? Do you think they did a good job?
Yeah, I think it wrapped up pretty well. I don't think there's anything that I would like, you know, warrant, like nothing left us on a cliffhanger, wrapped up nicely with a bow, like was like, yeah.
Yeah, it's not like it needed to have 3 more sequels or anything, but
they did anyway. They went to New York. How crazy is that?
It's one of my favorite John Mulaney bits. How do you get lost in New York? There's numbered streets. It's a great system.
The second one wasn't bad though.
I just haven't seen the second one in a long time, so I'm sure it's not bad. Maybe I'll watch that, you know, ahead of this Christmas. That'd be a good one to mix it up. I haven't seen it in a while, because I know it does bring back the same 2 robbers too. Like, what worries me, because I think by the third one, I don't think, is Macaulay Culkin even in the third one? I think he is, but I think the robbers aren't.
Yeah.
And then so once that goes away,
there's like 4 and 5 that don't even have him in it.
Oh, dude, and they're, you know, doing Disney Plus now. They're gonna fucking pump that shit out. Oh, what's another way we can make money off of this? This is me gambling. Definitely not doing something else.
He's gambling.
This is shaking dice. We got through the whole story. We hit basically all the things I think that we want to talk about. Is there anything else left over you wanted to hit?
There is one thing.
Yeah.
And this is kind of like a big thing for me that's kind of been like my mind while watching this movie, is that the mother, she seems to care more about her like image as a mother than actually like saving her kid.
Yeah.
Like the first thing she says is like, what kind of mother am I? She gave this kid like no respect, locked him in an attic for a night, forgot he was even in there. Like, she seemed to, again, be more mad at herself for doing that than worried about how her son is doing.
Right, and the whole idea of making an effort to get back home, to be with him, to me is not like, oh, you're such an altruistic person. Like, no, that's the bare minimum of what you should be doing when you do that.
Kind of made it hard for me to root for her.
Yeah, well, in my opinion, that whole family was shitty. Like, there was nobody in that family I would want to hang out with or have as part of my family. I'll put it that way. You know what I mean? Even the dad, like, I just never got good vibes. You know, it just doesn't, I don't know. I don't feel the love in that family. It just seems more like a collection of people, you know? So it's just funny, like literally the mom walks in and she's like, I'm sorry. And all of a sudden he goes from sad to happy and everything's forgiven. And you know, I feel like that's, maybe that is how it works with young kids, but that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, a little bit. She should just be thankful about him not like stopping the robbers and everything. Like, I would be like.
By the way, never thought about this till now. Do you think they find out about that? They get a
I thought
police
they did.
report.
I thought they did, right?
The only thing is, at the end, the dad finds the gold tooth. He's like, honey, what's this?
Oh.
That's the only thing.
Yeah, I guess they don't then. Then that explains it.
Yeah, and then it's like, pretty cool you didn't burn the place down, bro. Like, dude, I defended this fucking house like this is Fortnite, man.
I should bunker down.
Yeah, they tried to capture this flag, I didn't let them.
Wait, so he also, did he like clean up like everything?
That's a great question, Mason. That's
Like,
another great question.
You're saying how he just tucked himself in bed. I think, like, he must have had to clean up a bunch of shit.
Did he go to bed at like 3 a.m. that night?
Yeah,
it must have been between. Yeah, it's crazy to me. It is crazy to think about. And wouldn't that totally fuck up? Sorry to ruin this for anybody out there. Fuck up his thing if he believed in Santa at that time, because he would stayed up till like 3, 4 a.m. His parents didn't bring him presents. I'm just saying.
Go for it.
Just saying. Just saying. Just don't think about Santa when watching this movie. It might, except for the fake Santa. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't only listen to Santa if he's puffing on a ciggy. And now we are going to give our final scores for Home Alone. No, I don't know why I'm doing a spooky voice.
Yeah.
All right. So Mason. All right, Mason. 1 through 10. How do you rate your enjoyment and hold up ability of this movie?
So I'm gonna rate Home Alone a 5 out of 10 for me.
Yeah.
I never really liked this movie the first couple times I saw it. Now I was really mad, like, oh, how could she forget our kid? Now I understand a little bit more of how chaotic the house was, but still, I didn't like the kids acting. I thought that the plot was mainly surface level. I thought some of the moments were kind of forced and goofy, and I don't know, it just wasn't my favorite movie.
Yeah, and you know, it's really sad to hear that, of course, but much like your food tastes, you are misguided, and you need someone like me to shepherd you to the golden land.
So what do you rate it?
My rating, I would give it an 8.9 out of 10.
What?
8.9. 8.9. Yes. But I will toss this out there. There's definitely a part that's sentimental, right? This movie came out in 1990. I was born in 91. This was a humongous childhood movie for me growing up, especially around the holidays. I watch it at least once a year. And for me, it still hits all the notes that I love as a kid. I loved as a kid, and I'm finding more things I enjoy about it, like John Candy and other adult jokes that take place, throughout. I just enjoy it more and more every time I watch it. I'm hoping it might grow on you a little bit. So I'm very aware that this could just be a lot of personal history bias in here. But I would argue, I think it's a pretty good performance. I think the villains are great. I think the John Williams score is epic. I think it's a better written movie than you're giving it credit for. I think the first 15 minutes are probably the toughest part. Yeah. But once you get through that, it shines a lot more. I can also see somebody pointing out there's less dialogue as it goes in, especially for Macaulay Culkin, outside of him talking to the camera. Maybe that's part of what helps it. I'll toss it out there. So I can understand the weaknesses you're pulling out, but I love this movie. It's tight, it flies, fast-paced. But I will toss this out there. There are certain Christmas movies that I don't like, and I view very similar to how you view. I'll toss it out. So, for example, I hate A Christmas Story. I think that movie is terrible. All the ways that you described this movie, I would say that to the umpteenth degree in A Christmas Story. So when I think about comparing Home Alone to that, that's where I kind of can say, well, Home Alone's definitely better in like these regards, but have you seen A Christmas Story?
No, I haven't.
I would say watch that, and you would probably be like, well, this is a fucking 1. Home Alone's a 5. It doesn't make me think Home Alone's a 7 or 8 all of a sudden. This one just is terrible. So obviously, we have some pretty different views on this movie. Why don't you let us know what you think? We would love to hear how you weigh in. If you're more along my lines, maybe you grew up with it, or maybe you just love Macaulay Culkin, or little kids or whatever, and you want to support my side. Wait, hold on.
I heard you say that.
I'm not the pro into little kids side. I'm the pro Home Alone side. And if that happens to draw in some kid fans, that's fine too. I'm not saying they're going to be the basis of my support, but I'm saying I might get a couple extra votes that way, and that might be enough to topple you.
Mm-hmm.
Not that we're counting votes or anything.
Yeah.
Actually, no, we are. I'm gonna make a poll. No, seriously. On the community tab page, I am gonna put up a poll after this video is posted. It's gonna be a simple yes or no.
Yes.
Do you think Home Alone is a good movie? Yes or no? And we'll see what the responses are, and maybe we can address it in a future video.
And also, let us know your favorite Tic-Tac flavor.
Thanks for checking out this video.
Like and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about the movie in the comments below.
Let us know if there's any movies you want us to watch. Who knows? Maybe we'll watch them together.